Hey everyone, Dr. Tam and Rocky here today again on another episode of health. And today we're going to talk about inflammation. Every single week, though, we are coming at you with information on how you can decrease your pain, increase your function, and of course, your longevity. Now, for those of you who have not subscribed, news listeners, please subscribe. And those who are coming back, please leave us an amazing review of what you think the information is and comment below as well. All right. Rocky, we are ready to get started.
All right. So first up, Dr. Tam, can you tell us about what inflammation is in the first place?
Well, inflammation is something when that happens to your body. It could be, chemical. It's a chemical reaction, right? So for example, let's say you fall and you hit your knee into the ground and all of a sudden there's some swelling. That is inflammation. See, so inflammation is really also a oxidizing factor in the body as well. There's also things that comes in and cleans up, that increases, your body's function of the immune system. So when you are really inflamed, that means your body's usually fighting something. Now you could be chemically inflamed on your own from just stress. It could be from food. It could be a physical stress as well, like an injury. All of that, all in all, can cause inflammation in the body. Now, is inflammation good? It can be. Short-term inflammation can cause your body to heal, right? And long-term chronic is not good. Yeah, because chronic inflammation is something that your body is always like kind of in fight or flight, and you don't want that.
Right, right. Okay. So just like, it's either good or bad then.
Right, 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 right.
All right. Okay. So what can go wrong? Let's say you mentioned earlier that you don't want to have chronic inflammation, right? So what can go wrong if we have too much inflammation in our bodies?
Well, if you have too much inflammation, then overall, your body is not going to respond well, or your immune system is not going to respond well. Because if you're always so inflamed, you can get exposed to germs, viruses, bacteria, and then your body just explodes, right? And have problems. So you really don't want to be over inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, of course. And I think we discussed in our previous episodes that, inflammation can happen anywhere in your body and it
Yes.
can lead to chronic diseases, right? Now, let's talk about reducing inflammation. So, um, what I want to do here is for us to relate it to the four pillars of health, which is sleep, food, movement, and stress management. So when it comes to, sleep, how can we reduce inflammation?
Well, when it comes to sleep, overall, your body needs sleep. See, sleeping heals the brain, right? And when you're sleeping, you're getting more restful. Your brain is re energizing. You're getting cerebral spinal fluid through the brain, the spinal cord. You're also healing the organs as well. Your gut is healing. Your liver's going through detox, you see. So all of your autonomic functioning organs and systems are healing during that time, removing the inflammation. But let's say someone has insomnia, right? And they can't really sleep. But instead of sleeping, they're snacking the whole time. Their colon never gets to rest. Their stomach never gets to rest. Their liver's always pumping in bile to break down the fat that they're eating, right? Your pancreas never gets to rest. Your brain doesn't get to rest. Over time, that body's going to break down one way or another, whether you like it or not, it'll break down. That's going to become a huge problem.
Right. And we don't want that.
No.
Of course, the number one thing is food. So how can we reduce inflammation using food?
Well, eat the right food. As simple as that. I wish it was more difficult than that, but you got to eat the right food. Most people, here's the thing, Rocky. When you go to the store, right, you already know what food is good for you and what food's bad for you. Yes or no?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
See? So, because you already know what food's good for you and what food's bad for you also know what foods you can eat to lower inflammation, which is the good food in general, right? Your vegetables, okay, your greens, the purples, but you also know some foods that can definitely cause inflammation. A lot of, processed carbohydrates, sugar, and for a lot of people, nightshade vegetables, all right, can cause it as well. So because we already know, you got to make the right choices now, okay? And that's the key thing.
Right. Okay. And they say that, exercise is the best thing that you can do for your body and your brain. So, how can we reduce inflammation by exercising?
Well, so here's the thing is that aerobic exercises that get your heart rate up, right? And some people say 50, 60, 80% of your max heart rate, depending on your age and where you're at. Well, you want to get your heart rate pumping is because your heart rate, when it's pumping oxygen throughout your whole body and also into your brain. And that relieves stress, right? It releases chemical stress. It's also shown signs of helping people lose weight, better functioning heart, which can prevent heart disease. It can lower diabetes numbers and sugar levels. It also helps with Alzheimer's. Movement helps with Alzheimer's. When you sit all the time, right? And you're not using your brain. People who sit and watch Netflix all the time, okay? That's going to be a problem. You can't just sit there and watch. Okay, if you sit there and working, that's something else. Sometimes you could be standing and working, sitting on a medicine ball or like one of those yoga balls, right? That can help as well. But sitting and not doing anything is probably the worst thing for your health because they say sitting's the new smoking.
Yes, so definitely get that movement and get that blood flow, right?
Yes.
So, okay, and the last one, Dr. Tam, is stress management. A lot of people don't really know how stress hurts their health. So, tell us more about how we can reduce inflammation by managing our stress correctly.
Well, when you're stressed, your body's in fight or flight. You increase the chemical called cortisol in your body, and cortisol can increase insulin, increase your chance of diabetes, and it can slow down the motility of your gut. So when you have stress, a lot of people can have problems digesting food. They can't poop the right way. They get constipated, or then once in a while they get diarrhea, right? They start losing their focus and thought process. And before you know it, oh my gosh, the body's so inflamed. You're always in fight or flight. And then they just get knocked down when they're sick. And that's going to be a problem. And that's where a lot of people are going. And then all of a sudden, they get super sick. And then bam, it hits them like a ton of bricks. And now they're laid out for a few days.
Hmm. Right. And it can affect the other pillars of health as well. Like if you're stressed, you can't eat, you can't sleep, right? You don't want to go out.
Yeah,
So it really messes up everything.
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Tim, for giving us information about inflammation. And just like what Dr. Tim said, if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to our channel for us to give you more information on how you can hack your health.
All right, Rocky. Thank you so much.